Sold!
The man's round sales, but he's got no beef.
Pardon me?
That was that. Huh?
Yo, MC Cow Seller. But fresh.
It's us and them. Always thought you were getting ripped off by appliance repairmen? Now hidden cameras and Chris Wallace prove it. A primetime investigation Thursday.
Well, quite simply, the Lions coming on at the end of the year. That means Barry Sanders. But the most important aspect next Monday, Candlestick Park. George Seifert telling us at halftime, Joe Montana plays. First time in 2 years next Monday night. Emmitt Smith to the 23. As everybody knows, the 49ers have everything they need to be clinched. So they play out the string next Monday, but the Candlestick Park will be rocking next Monday night because number 16 is going to get into the game, and as Seifert told us at halftime, he hopes for 2 quarters against Detroit, and we'll be there.
And lost in that story is another quarterback story, Andre Ware. Back-to-back wins now for Detroit. Look forward to seeing 16 back out there circulating around.
Emmitt Smith, meanwhile, 16 carries tonight, 99 yards. So he's on his way to another triple-figure game. But for the moment, they go to Harper, and that's a first down as Alvin has it up to the 40-yard line. Ken McKyer makes the stop with 5:25 to go in the third. 34-10.
There is no absence of animosity between these two teams. You could see it right there that Harper and McKyer came up talking to one another. These are the Cowboys. We saw Jimmy Johnson in our open talk about he likes his team to have a certain amount of swagger. Well, this team has 2 things. It has swagger and it has talent. The Falcons, unfortunately, are in a period where they have a little more swagger than they have talent.
Swagger a lot better with talent, don't you?
Yes, it do go better together.
Here's Smith, and that's a 2-yard gain, and that's enough to put him up and over 100.
One without the other is a little bit hollow.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned the animosity. Our man, Keith Jackson, let's face it, he coined that phrase about 15 years ago. You got a couple of teams that don't like each other very much. And that's the way to put it. When the Falcons meet the Cowboys.
What did he say about the big uglies?
He said they're in the trenches.
That's right.
That's where you play.
I know one of his phrases that won't get used tonight.
What's that?
A real barn burn.
Burned to the ground.
Took a cornfield with it.
Yeah, sure did.
2nd and 8 at the 42-yard line. Emmitt Smith, up to the 45-yard line. Lost his footing.
Lost it. He's a little stutter stepping. He would have picked up at least 10 or 15 on that. Now look at this. Just a little quick stutter and bang. The shoe adheres to the surface. On push the surface and down he goes.
Jesse Tuggle got the tap Emmitt Smith while he was down, so he gets credit for an unassisted tackle.
And they give him about 20 every time he has one.
That's the easiest unassisted tackle anyone will ever have on Emmitt Smith.
3rd and 4 at the 46-yard line. 3:25 left in the third. Emmitt. Slippery, and he gets knocked down from behind. Darian Connor, who was already into the backfield, knocks him down, and that will create a rare Dallas punt.
They have scored on how many consecutive possessions? 6? Yes, a rare punt indeed.
Prior to tonight,
Deion's
Derek Glanville telling us that they had only given up, what, 1 touchdown in 14 quarters defensively.
Anchor the benches if Deion doesn't do much with this.
Yeah.
Well, Houston Hoover, the guard, sitting on 1. I know Deion's not going to get that one off the ground.
Short hop by Saxon, a nice pickup and a good kick under the circumstances. The flag is down. That's a 48-yard punt, taken at the 5. And Sanders is out of bounds at the 14-yard line. Charles Washington came flying in, and there are 2 flags. Mike Saxon paid the price. And this one could very well wind up in Dallas's possession as Bobby April.
It will, even running. Holding against Dallas. If it's running into the kicker, that's enough for a first down, but
could be offset with 2 flags here.
Yeah.
Joe Avisano, the special teams coach for Dallas.
70, offense, holding, roughing the kicker. The penalty's offset. Replay, 4th down.
Charles Washington was the Falcon defensive back that tagged Saxon.
Dale Hellestray was the snapper.
And he's also the one that was flagged for holding.
So they'll put it back at the 47-yard line.
Dion will have a chance to work his magic again.
Bobby April, one of the more animated and energetic special teams coaches in the National Football League, has not had a lot to get excited about tonight. Jerry Glanville having a discussion on the sideline, probably wanting to make the point that seeing the snap bounced on its way back to the kicker, that his man should be excused.
Jerry Glanville started out of this game as a special teams coach.
Falling on deaf ears.
Was here with Atlanta as a special teams coach in the early 80s. Came on to be a defensive coordinator before bouncing around and going to Houston and then finally here.
He has had success wherever he has gone. You have to give him credit for that. And a lot of it very quick success.
Saxon to punt again. Sanders, that's another 48-yard boot. And a 6-yard run back. Dion to the 11-yard line where he's tackled by Jimmy Smith. So they keep pinning Dion. And the Cowboys keep pinning the Falcons by 24.
Some shortcut to work. We're lost.
We're not lost.
Oh, I've seen this guy a couple times.
Maybe he's a twin. Boy, I wish we hadn't skipped breakfast.
Here, try one of these.
Kellogg's Nutri-Grain bars.
What is that, tofu?
No, they're really good.
It has real fruit.
Plus a moist crust made with whole grain and no cholesterol.
This is good.
Uh-huh. I brought along a few extra, you know, in case we got lost.
We are not lost.
Kellogg's Nutri-Grain bars. Start your morning off right.
You know, you look like the smart, successful type. Just the type to appreciate Sprint's remarkably easy calling program the most. It saves you big on whoever you call the most each month. 36% when that person has Sprint. And you don't have to sign anyone up. It's all automatic. Of course, a smart, successful guy like you probably already has the most. Or did you just inherit all that money?
Imagine a rent-a-car company that offers special delivery right to your door. That's Enterprise.
Here, let me help you.
Enterprise, a special rent-a-car company that gives you special delivery.
In my business, my hair has to look great, and even one flake is one too many. So I use new Head & Shoulders. It gets to 10 times more the places where dandruff starts. New Head & Shoulders, because great hair can't have flakes.
Wishing for a trip to Hawaii this Christmas? Let ABC Sports take you. Kansas battles BYU in the Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl. Christmas Day on ABC Sports.
We have 2:17 left in the third quarter at the Georgia Dome. Al Michaels, Frank Gifford, and Dan Dierdorf, the Dallas Cowboys, trying to wrap it up in the NFC East, and they'll do it with a victory, and they lead by 24.
There's a look at Bob Whitfield, their #1 draft choice, who's taken Mike Kenn's place at left tackle.
First down Falcons from the 11-yard line is Wade Wilson. Guns one perfectly into the arms of Pritchard up at the 33-yard line for a gain of 22 and a first down.
Pritchard has had a big night tonight. The 2 circus catches that end up being out of bounds, they don't count for anything, but he not only has caught the ball well, but he's taken some big shots after the reception and held on well. That's his 7th catch of the evening for 74 yards, and they've not been easy.
Maybe his success probably is why we have not seen a whole lot of Andre Rison. I think they're taking him away and giving the single coverage to Pritchard, although that was zone and he just hooked up in the right position.
From the 33, under pressure, they set up a screen. This is Keith Jones, and he's close to a first down, tackled near the 43-yard line. Appears to be a little short of it. 1:20 to go in the third.
Good read that time by Wade Wilson. Kenny Gant coming on the blitz, and Wade gives just enough ground to allow Jones to get out there and dumps him the ball. I've been impressed with Wade Wilson's work tonight. It's not like he's some rookie that we don't think can play in this league. He's been doing this for a long time, but those are respectable numbers. In fact, they're well better than respectable, 22 of 30.
Second and 1 at the 43-yard line as Wilson goes back and fires an out. It's caught by Hill. He brings it in at the 37-yard line. Drew Hill.
Looking over the numbers for this game, what was it? Drew Hill and his accomplishments past the age of 30. He has been a highly productive receiver later in life. And this is an illustration of why. Look at the work in getting the right foot down in time.
And they set up another screen to Jones, but this time it is sniffed out perfectly by Woodson. Loss of 2. Hill again.
There's Hill on the sideline, but look at the right foot. Look at him get it down. Let's talk about body control and presence and knowing exactly where you are in relationship to the sideline. That's beautiful work by Drew Hill.
Hill is a guy, as Nemmers throws a flag
Too many
here.
men in the field on the defensive team. 5 yards. Repeat first down.
Looking at Steve Hurt's notes here, he had 138 receptions while he was in his 20s. Here we have it right here, and 453 when he's in his 30s. Now, a football player's life, you have many more years in your 20s than you do in your 30s, and that is talk about a late bloomer.
Those early years with the Rams, it changed a little when you get into that run and shoot offense of Houston and now Atlanta.
1st and 5, and this is Pritchard making the catch, and that should be a first down, and it will also be the end of the quarter.
Will somebody make it?
No, the back judge says incomplete. Take another look here. On a 1st and 5. Good call. Touch the ground.
Sure did. And that official on the sideline to our camera right there was the only one who really had the vantage point and correctly came in and made the call.
End of the 3rd quarter. It's Dallas 34, Atlanta 10, and we'll return with Monday Night Football after this word from our ABC stations.
From the East Wing of the White House, join Delta Burke, Shannon Doherty, Edward James Olmos, and more in To Be Free, the National Literacy Honors, Saturday.
Sunday, Michelle Pfeiffer, Matthew Modine, and Alec Baldwin.
I want a divorce!
Life's no bed of roses.
And if you smell it, I'll blow it. Get up!
Go ahead. When you're married to the mob Sunday.
Coming up on Newswatch 6 after the game, we're going to talk to the new Health and Welfare Director for the state. And on Health Watch, we're going to talk about health computers as part of your wardrobe.
Hello, it's time for Welcome Home from Fred Meyer. Wonder where the time's gone? Me too. Well, one-stop shopping can really help. Other stores might be getting a little thin, but not Fred Meyer. And if you've got office and club parties coming up, then you'll be interested in these. Books on cooking, on travel, on gardening. They make wonderful gifts. And don't forget the teachers and the mailman with Fred Meyer gift certificates. They're always appreciated, good in every department. And now on behalf of Welcome Home and Fred Meyer, have a safe and happy holiday.
It's here, and it's big. It's the biggest cash bonus ever on Ford Taurus. Get up to $1,500 for a limited time only. Start with $500 cash on every 93 Taurus in stock. Then if you own a business or work for a business, you can qualify for an additional rebate up to $1,000 for a total of up to $1,500. Add up to $700 in option savings and save up to $2,200. This one-time only limited time offer absolutely ends January 5th.
Happy holidays from Channel 6!
The choo-choo up at Stone Mountain, the park just east of Atlanta. Great tourist attraction. Didn't quite catch that. What'd she say? Good morning, America?
It was I Wish I Were Miss America.
Oh, all right. We start the 4th quarter. It's 2nd down and 5. Falcons at the Cowboy 32-yard line. Dallas up by 24, and away to Wilson, going all the way, incomplete. Intended for Rison, who looks for the flag and sees none. Larry Brown covering.
Larry Brown complaining that he was being interfered with by Andre Rison. Larry Brown playing on a pretty sore knee. He's had trouble with it for the past couple of weeks. He gets tied up man for man, number 80. 24 is Larry Brown. Larry Brown saying he was pushed off, and he was.
That's just standard fare in the NFL. Yeah. There will always be hand fighting between receiver and defensive back.
3rd and 5 at the 32-yard line.
Look out.
Wilson sacked at the 38. Leon Lett. And that's the first sack tonight for the Cowboys.
Leon came into the game tonight with 2.5 sacks. And Dave Wanstead telling us before the game he's not sure that there's a better reserve defensive tackle in the game.
Emporia State.
Yep.
7th round draft pick.
A wee lad, a mere 6'6", 292.
They're very deep along the defensive front. Very deep.
Deep and young.
And there's Jeffcoat having a tremendous year, and he's barely been a factor tonight. Jim Jeffcoat in his 10th season. They've taken a 1st and 5 and turned it into a 4th and 11 and turned it into giving the ball up. Haley. So Haley gets the sack, and they go the entire game without a sack and then pick them up back to back.
This is called beating the soft corner. Charles Haley comes right around the soft shoulder of Chris Hinton, who turned and just mainlines it right to Wade Wilson.
Gant is shaken up on the play with 14:18 remaining. 34-10, big D.
He's history's most celebrated quarterback. Now he's coaching Budweiser in Bud Bowl 5. Yes, some men are born to be football legends.
Give every last drop. We're going to win it. We're Budweiser.
Of course, some men aren't.
We'll win it, because we're Bud Light.
You ever wonder how they get the strings in these things?
Bud Bowl 5. It's back. Get your ticket where you buy Bud, Bud Light, and Bud Dry. Someone will win $1 million in cash.
If you're looking for a luxury coupe that makes driving fun again, the Eldorado Touring Coupe hits the mark. Because only its advanced North Star system brings together a 295 horsepower V8, road sensing suspension, and traction control standard, making it the car you'll want to drive first and every day thereafter. The Eldorado Touring Coupe with the North Star system, changing the way you think about American automobiles.
I couldn't just stand there and watch him shoot those people.
The suspense.
Where's Sean Miller?
The mystery.
He's never gonna let us go.
The excitement. Based on the best-selling novel.
Get down!
Harrison Ford, Patriot Games. Now available at your local video store.
There's nothing better than winning a Super Bowl or a NASCAR race. But to finish strong, you have to start fresh. Interstate batteries are fresh. For factory fresh power, call 1-800-CRANK-IT. Start fresh with Interstate.
Well, you golfers will love this. On Saturday, it's a different concept. Wendy's 3 Tour Challenge. You've got PGA stars, LPGA stars, and Senior Tour stars all taking on each other. The Wendy's 3 Tour Challenge coverage begins Saturday at 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock Central. A new concept in golf, and for you duffers and scratch golfers alike, tune in. You'll enjoy it. Dallas takes over at the 47, 1st and 10. Aikman, pump fake. Aikman going deep for Harper. Incomplete. Tim McKyer covering on the play.
And good coverage it was, too. McKyer playing it absolutely perfect.
No lack of shyness on the part of the Dallas Cowboys. A 34-10 lead on 1st down. Go ahead and put it up in the air like that.
Well, just thinking the same thing.
Hey, oh. Well, one thing about Jerry Glanville, you have to say, he asks for none, and he gives none. And he's taken his fair share of whippings and has said nothing about it, and doesn't like it when other coaches complain when he administers one.
2nd and 10, Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. He's tackled by Deion Sanders. So another tremendous night for Smith and a forgettable night for Neon.
Florida and Florida State getting it on. Watch him cover up the football. He knows he's in traffic. Deion trying to pull it out.
He did. He got his hand on the ball. He got that left one in there. Emmitt Smith does not surrender that ball lightly.
Emmitt Smith, that 17th touchdown coming tonight, breaking Dan Reeves' mark. The current Bronco coach, setting it 26 seasons ago. Emmitt again. Oh, he's fun to watch. Everybody but Atlanta. Touchdown.
There's number 18. You're seeing some great running, and you're seeing some horrific tackling.
Well, Pro Bowl balloting is tomorrow around the NFL. And you're looking at a man who's just padding the ballot box because he was in anyway. But this might make it unanimous. Emmitt Smith. And I have nothing to add after what you said. Good running and horrific tackling.
Lin Elliott for the point after. Emmitt Smith has gained 154 yards tonight. That's a 29-yard TD scamper. There's a little altercation out on the field, but nothing worthy of our attention. 41-10, Dallas.
From the east wing of the White House, join Delta Burke, Shannon Doherty, Edward James Olmos, and more in To Be Free, the National Literacy Honors, Saturday.
Sunday, Michelle Pfeiffer, Matthew Modine, and Alec Baldwin.
I want a divorce!
Life's no bed of roses.
Elliott, you're moving. I'm blowing. Get up!
Go ahead. When you're married to the mob Sunday.
Well, Jerry Glanville and the Atlanta Falcons involved in yet another Monday night massacre. The last time we were here, 49ers beat them 41-3.
We were here for that.
Yeah, and we're here tonight, and it's 41-10.
Yeah.
Well, as Dan pointed out, Atlanta giving up an average of 4.8 yards per rush.
And an average of 40-plus points per game when we're here.
Atlanta, they've been the kings of the blowout this year.
Both ways.
Yeah, they won games by 34 and 28, and they've lost games by 39, 38, 27, and whatever they lose by tonight.
Not very consistent, is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. But it's kind of consistent with Monday Night Football this year. I mean, it's kind of crazy the way it's worked out. The margin of victory in our Monday night games, I don't have to tell fans of this package, has been huge. The hugest, in fact, in the history of the package. And we go back 23 years. And more. There's Vi Sikahema's alter ego, I suppose, trying to punch out the goalpost. But the margin of victory on a Monday night game this year has been 16.7 points.
Wow. Good matchup. I mean, they've been teams that, when you look at it going in, you're saying this is good stuff.
Yeah.
Falcons last year in the playoffs. The Lions last year in the playoffs.
Well, give me the hype award or whatever. I mean, next week we have a game that really means nothing in the standings, but I'm telling you, I cannot wait to be in Candlestick Park when Joe Montana comes back out onto the field.
That'll be a moment.
That is going to be tremendous.
What, it's been 2 years since he's faced live bullets.
2 years. Here is Sanders pinned again.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, he's coming out.
Yeah, he's got to come out. I don't think anybody touched him.
No, and the whistle had not blown. That would have been a safety.
This is a wacky play, but it's going to turn out to be a run back to the 28-yard line.
Only Deion could get involved in something like that.
The only way you can end up in the end zone is if your momentum took you into the end zone. Your momentum in chasing the ball. And Deion looked like he fielded that ball cleanly and walked into the end zone. Jimmy Johnson yelling, "Where's the whistle?"
That momentum, they would not say that carried him in there. He kneels down.
Well, that was
not
close.
been touched. No whistle is blown. And he looks up, sees the official looking at him. And you say, hey, I better get out of here, babe.
That was a real gray area. I mean, Dion was running backwards. He was running backwards to get the football. Jimmy's got a good point. I mean,
they would have blown a whistle right there had his momentum carried him into the end zone. And then when he knelt down. And when he didn't hear the whistle, that's heads up.
But when you, let me pose this question. When you take a knee in the end zone, are you not surrendering? I mean, you are seeking protection and you are ending the play when you take a knee in the end zone.
I don't know.
That should have been the end of the play either way.
I don't know.
The quarterback anymore isn't allowed to come back and take a knee and then come back up and throw the football.
I was trying to say, I don't know if there's a surrender clause in there or not.
I think Jimmy Johnson has an excellent point.
We're going to go to the rule book on this because if you take it back and then put your knee down, as opposed to just putting a knee down under any circumstances.
I mean, the whole purpose of putting your knee down in the end zone is you're seeking protection.
Exactly. Here's Rison, and he needs protection and doesn't get any from Larry Brown.
I mean, if you allow a player to take a knee in the end zone and then come back out of the end zone, what's the purpose of taking a knee in the end zone?
Sure. And there is a fully involved coach. And
I think it might change when you carry the ball into the end zone on your own.
Right.
All right, we're leafing through the book.
Jerry Seaman, if you're watching, give us a call.
Don't make it collect.
The NFL's director of officiating.
Here's Keith Jones taking his way out to, or making his way out to the 37-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 1 with about 12:10 to play. And Dallas comfortably in front, 41 to 10. 3rd and 1. Wade Wilson throwing, and that's caught by Andre Rison. A double spin move. And out to the 50 he goes for an Atlanta first down.
Frank, don't you love to see a quarterback like that who throws the ball back to the inside of the field, allowing his receiver to catch it and move upfield? It doesn't sound like much, but it's important. Instead of to the sideline, he threw it back to the middle of the field and gives a guy like Rison a chance to do something with it.
And a beautiful job by Rison. Kept that knee off the ground. That contact had been made.
1st and 10 at the 50-yard line. Wilson throws. Pritchard makes the catch, avoids the tackle, and picks up 20 as he is steered out of bounds at the 30-yard line by Kevin Smith.
Pritchard right under the arms of James Washington, coming up there for the big hit. Pritchard, who's having a big night, was stuck under the arms of Washington, and he was gone. A couple of good moves. Saw Rison a moment ago. Look at this.
That was hardly textbook.
Pritchard, 8 catchers tonight, and look out! That's a big sack by Haley, big in terms of yardage lost. It's going to be a 13 or 14-yard sack.
Haley's only had 4 sacks coming in to tonight's game. He's had a couple tonight, but he probably has picked up double teaming more than any other Dallas Cowboy, and Jim Jeffcoat has benefited from that, I'm sure. He has 9.5 sacks. Tony Tolbert has 8.5 sacks, as most of the offensive lines they have played have concentrated on Haley.
Officially a 12-yard sack as they spotted at the 42 at 2nd and 22. It is swung out here to Michael Haynes. And Haynes goes down to the arms of a trio of Cowboys at the 30-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
Bill Frayling coming out of the game. He's another one of that offensive line that has a bad knee.
He just couldn't make it, Frank. He just took himself out of the ball game. Frayling and Hinton both will require knee surgery at the end of the season. And Mike Ken, the left tackle, was playing with a partially torn medial collateral ligament.
Here's Wilson on 3rd and 10. He has to get to the 20 to convert, and he's tackled at the 25-yard line by Mickey Pruitt. And it'll be 4th and 5 with 9:45 left in the 4th quarter, and the Cowboys up 41 to 10.
You would be hard-pressed to find a football team that has had as much trouble in the training room as have the Atlanta Falcons. There's another look at Mike Ken on the sideline.
We talked about the 3 defensive ends that they've lost, but we just now have got around to talking about an offensive line that's been very affected by the injury.
4th and 5, and they convert here as Pritchard makes his 9th catch of the game. Good for a first down. Takes it to the Dallas 14, tackled by Robert Williams.
Bill Fralick. A lot of excellent offensive line. And when you consider that Fralick, Hinton, and Ken all on the same team, you can see why this club, this franchise has had a lot of offensive success in the past. I mean, that's better than most.
This is Keith Jones for a gain of 4. To the 10 he goes. 2nd and 6. So the Falcons on their way to going 6 up and 9 down, and they will close the season in Anaheim next week. Johnson's Cowboys go home and close against the Bears in what will be Mike Singletary's final game. 2nd and 6. And Wilson guns it into the end zone, incomplete. Intended for Pritchard.
From just about this area where the Falcons have had a great deal of trouble this year getting the ball into the end zone. Conversely, the Cowboys, when they get down around the 10, inside the 10, they get it into the end zone over 80% of the times that they're down there.
3rd down and 6.
A lot of it, I think, goes with the run and shoot. We've talked about it so many times before. You don't have the benefit tied in.
For a touchdown by Andre Rison.
And Wade Wilson took the blitz right in the face and paid it and got the touchdown as a result, but he saw it coming from the left side and he took a big time hit.
Great move by Rison, too, against Larry Brown. Let's take a look at this Jeff coat, I believe.
The blitz came to the inside. Woodson came and was picked up by Whitfield, the left tackle, and boy, that's very indicative of the type of night and reflective of the night had by Wade Wilson. He has thrown the ball really well.
Price you pay, though, when you blitz. You're going to get single coverage out there. Larry Brown linked up with Andre Rison. It was a no contest. Wilson paid the price, but Rison was there for him.
Norm Johnson for the point after. Well, numbers can be screwy sometimes. Wilson is 30 of 41 for 342 yards. Numbers like that get you to the Pro Bowl, but it doesn't get your team anywhere. They're down 41 to 17.
I'm the kind of guy who likes to get around. I'm never in one place. I roam from town to town. I got a 3.1 liter V6 engine, 4-speed automatic with overdrive, cruise control, power windows, power locks, air and more.
Just $15,995.
The Oldsmobile Special Edition Cutlass Supreme. It's all yours for a song. It's your money.
A simple office phone. A large custom-tailored telecommunications system. Voice only or voice and data. Digital switching. Satellite communications. Tie lines. Mobile communications. Multiple long-distance hookups. There are many ways to get information from point A to point B. And it's all as simple as GTE.
So, I was gonna hit the Foot Locker for the new Nike Air Maestros, but then I thought, how much do I know about these kicks? So I called famous point guard John Stockton and asked him to demo them for me. Then I hear only Foot Locker's got the Nike Flight 89s, so I get old John on the horn again. So, for new Nikes, you know what to do. Just go to Foot Locker.
The new Nike basketball shoes at Foot Locker, where it all begins.
John, is that you?
The Georgia Dome in Atlanta. Another sellout crowd. But they're disappointed tonight because their Falcons are down by 24. The Dallas Cowboys expect an Atlanta onside kick, and thus they have 9 men up within a few yards of Norm Johnson at this point.
And the sure-handed types.
Including guys like Michael Irvin and Alvin Harper are out there.
And Atlanta making the shift They don't always go with the onside kick. But this looks like they definitely will. Couple of bounces and then take that last high bounce and go for it.
It's much easier to do on artificial turf.
Has to go 10 yards for Atlanta to make it pay off, and that went 10 yards. Coming up with it is Bruce Pickens, but what are they going to say?
I'm not sure it went 10 yards out.
He's standing right on the 45.
Was he in bounds? There's a flag down, among other things.
I think they're offside. Atlanta.
Larry Nimmer is telling us.
Number 29 of the kicking team, offside, 5 yards, re-kick.
Re-kick. Joe Fishback would like to have that Fishback.
What the kickers work on is getting that ball to take a couple of low bounces and then take that high bounce, and as you can see the offside right there. Oh, that was a beautiful kick.
Bruce Pickens.
Oh, look at that job with the feet by Pickens.
Took the high bounce.
That's a 9.9.
Yeah.
That's another 9.9 that doesn't end up on the stat sheet.
It's a funny thing, too, because among other things, Pickens has the label of having terrible hands. He's dropped a lot of would-be interceptions this season and last as well.
#1 draft choice last year. He was like the 4th or the 5th player taken in the draft and signed for colossal money, and yet hasn't yet cracked his way into the starting lineup. But with McKyer and Sanders, a lot of talent.
And when we looked at that replay, it was 39. It was Pickens himself who was the guy offside, even though they had said 29, which gave us a chance to mention Joe Fishback's name for his friends and family.
Well, now you can take that Fishback.
And I will.
I don't want to be nitpickins.
Smells like a red herring to me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we're floundering. I know. I understand.
If you're perched up here watching what we're looking at.
There's another flag.
Now that ball was touched by a Cowboy before it went 10 yards.
Yep, that was Darrell Johnston. And again, Pickens is involved in the play.
If a Cowboy comes up and touches the ball before it goes 10 yards, it's a free ball.
Exactly. They don't handle it. It should be a free ball.
I would think that would be Atlanta's ball. I think Darrell Johnston comes up. See, there's Johnston. No, he chooses to touch the ball before it goes 10. If Atlanta recovers the ball, that's got to be theirs.
Fishback's involved in this play here. Yes, he was.
I knew he'd work his way in here somewhere.
You mean he's back?
Back on the hook.
That was kind of a half-hearted first down signal by Jimmy Johnson. There's a flag down here as well.
Ray Horton wanted to know what's going on here.
We have the kicking team offside again. That's the second kickoff in a row, but the ball was legally touched by the receiving team, so we'll penalize the kicking team 5 yards and re-kick.
That would have been Atlanta's ball had they not been offside.
Exactly.
That's
but they committed the foul.
Net result of that. No, I'm not. Fishback was not in the net.
Okay.
No.
I want to make sure.
I know.
He's got his hand over the line. That is really nitpicking up there. There's Pickens once again.
Pickens again.
Yep. It's not just your feet. If your body's across the line, you're.
Well, the Cowboys will just continue to try to reel this kickoff in.
Oh, stop it.
With 8:02.
Stop it.
And the key thing, of course, is the catch.
They've got me to the point I don't care who gets it. Somebody get it.
Come on, guys. Kickoff ready. Fisher cut bait here. Let's go. All right.
Johnson just can't be done.
He kicks it out of bounds.
Yeah,
this might be the worst series of kickoffs this league has seen in a long time, coupled with some of the worst announcing of all time.
Kickoff out of bounds. The ball will be put in play 30 yards from the free kick line. 1st and 10 for Dallas.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, boy, thank you. Ready for some football?
When's it going to start?
Yeah. I think they've just invoked the mercy rule here. Dallas has it at the 45. And we have 7:56 remaining, believe it or not. 41-17, Cowboys.
At Radio Shack, there's more to the name. Top electronics, computers and games. More products and service than ever before. It's all from America's technology store. The best in America, Radio Shack. Nobody compares to Radio Shack. Names you can trust, products you know, a service you count on. There's one place to go for the best in America. Radio Shack.
The Buick LeSabre, Family Circle Magazine's Domestic Family Car of the Year. LeSabre won by finishing first in important family categories like value, comfort, dealer satisfaction, performance, safety, style, and of course, dependability. Buick LeSabre, a welcome addition to the American family.
What'll it be, fellas?
Make it a Bud Light.
Sorry, this is the last one.
Well, I think I'll take that one.
What do you want to give for it? I'm a 2 and a 10, give me 10, a 20 bid, give me 20 now, 30, give me 30 now, 40 bid, give me 40 now, 50, give me 50 now, 60 bid, give me 60 now, 70, give me 70 now, 80.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Bud Light, please.
Sorry, boys. This is the last one.
He's back. The NFC West champion Niners have announced the return to action of Joe Montana. They'll meet Detroit next week on the Monday Night Football season finale.
Yep, that's next Monday night, Candlestick Park in San Francisco. 49ers on their way, of course, to home field advantage. They hope another Super Bowl title. Steve Young, tremendous year. He missed it at halftime. George Seifert telling us Young's going to play, but he wants to get Montana in for 2 quarters, roughly 2 quarters, next Monday. Sanders and the Lions against San Francisco, Monday Night Football. 1st and 10, Dallas at the 45-yard line. And Emmitt Smith picks up 5. That's 159 yards. You know, Dan, let's go back. We talked about the Deion Sanders play before, and we were looking for clarification in the rule book, and we're going to cue it up here. Here's the play again.
Sanders goes back, fields the ball, and voluntarily takes it into the end zone, and then takes the knee. And that is accurate, as we called it at the time. If you surrender yourself in the end zone, if you seek the protection of taking a knee, the play should have been over right there. That should have been a safety on the Atlanta Falcons. Deion sought the protection of the end zone by taking a knee. He stopped play and then came out. And Jimmy Johnson, who was very animated on the Dallas sideline, was certainly justified in doing so.
2nd and 5.
That would have been the 5th way that Deion Sanders has scored, right?
I didn't think about that. That's right.
Yeah,
punt return, kickoff return, interception, and a reception. He hasn't rushed for a touchdown yet. He hasn't run a fumble in for a TD yet, nor has he, I believe, had a safety.
Given up a safety. That's a deduction, guys. That has a minus sign in front of it.
Yep. Emmitt Smith tonight. Now, how does he stand as he seeks his 2nd consecutive rushing title up to this very second? Barry Foster has the lead, but Emmitt is right there on his tail, and then you've got Thomas and Sanders and the rest. 18 more yards to catch Barry Foster, and each has 1 full game to play.
And coming into tonight, it looked like Foster had a very comfortable lead.
3rd and 3. Here's Smith. But here's the thing, too. Next, it'll be an interesting thing.
Because why play Emmitt Smith next?
Well, yeah, the Dallas has the luxury of, playing their guys and just keeping them a little sharp, knowing they're going to have the week off. Pittsburgh, meanwhile, even though they've clinched the division, might be in a situation where they have to win that game against Cleveland to get that bye week, and it's a 1 o'clock game. They're not going to know what's happened. So it's an important game for Pittsburgh to win. Foster's going to see a lot of action.
And yeah, Barry was shaken up yesterday, too. He was taken off the field and taken in for x-rays.
And conversely, Dallas is playing Chicago, who's already out of the playoffs. The game affects no one at all, so they really have no pressure to even put up a good game.
Yep. And Dallas plays a late game, so they're going to actually know in Dallas how many yards Foster will wind up with. As Emmitt Smith works his way to the 35-yard line. He is stopped there by Jesse Solomon.
Well, I would have to say at this stage of the ball game, this is just a concerted effort by Jimmy Johnson to get Emmitt Smith the title, and I think he's going to go out of the game. Enough is enough. The franchise doesn't need to be in the ball game beyond this stage in a 41-17 contest.
And most of those who've remained are Cowboy fans unless he gets a big ovation.
I think you touched on it, Dan. I think they're well aware that he is within that area and certainly contending for another rushing championship, depending on what Barry Foster, of course, does next week. He's only 5 yards off of Barry Foster now.
2nd and 1. And
that's not Herschel Walker. That's Tommy Agee.
Tommy Agee, and letting you know that Herschel's number didn't get retired. Emmitt Smith, his season high had been 163 against the Eagles. Tonight he goes 174, scores twice, both on 29-yard runs. And he and Foster head-to-head, and here it is up to date with 1 week to go. Foster leading Smith by 5.
What a great year Foster's had under Ron Earhart's offense. Steelers really roaring back this year.
1st and 10 Dallas at the 33 under 4 minutes to go. 41-17 Cowboys. And here's a look at Irvin Richards, the backup to Emmitt Smith, to the 31-yard line. So the Cowboys are going to set a franchise record, 12 wins. They'll be 12-3 with a potential to win 13. Onto the playoffs they go. Johnson in his 4th year, and he's taken his team just about to the top, and we'll all know in a month or so.
And unless we are dead wrong, and I don't think so, get used to this picture. The Dallas Cowboys give every indication of being a franchise that is going to be doing this to people for a long time to come.
This is the youngest team in the game. A little over 26 years average.
Irvin Richards again on 2nd and long to the 29-yard line.
You don't want to hang the dynasty label on a team that hasn't done anything yet, and the Cowboys haven't done anything yet.
Yep.
But this team will win for a long time to come. I don't see anything that could bring this team down in the near future.
There are 2 D words that teams don't want to use. One is dynasty, and the other is totally at the other end of the spectrum, disarray.
And stereo.
That's right.
Well, you have to accomplish something before people should even toss the word dynasty around, and that's something you have to keep in mind with this ball club. They had playoff experience last year. They want to take it to that next level. They're aggressive, hard-working, talented, and well-coached.
3rd and 7.
Other than that, they don't have a lot going for them.
Yeah. And meanwhile, the Atlanta Falcons, they're going to have to regroup, an injury-racked season, but they're going to be a mystery when next season begins. Jerry Glanville and company on their way to going 6-9. 2-minute warning from the Georgia Dome.
You may not have given side impact collisions much consideration, but Buick has. You may not know that by the year 1997, all cars will be required to meet the U.S. government's side impact safety standard, or that the Buick Regal sedan meets this standard today, 4 years in advance. But it is important information, and we think it's definitely food for thought.
Party's getting off to a good start.
Hold on, I got a surprise.
Ooh, champagne.
Your clothes, taste it.
The color's beautiful.
Oh, this is great. Was this new? Yeah, it's Blanc de Noir.
It's what?
Blanc de Noir.
Oh, that's easy for you to say.
I've never had a champagne like it.
That's the surprise. Blanc de Noir, a wonderful new taste from Tots. Blanc de Noir. There's no champagne quite like it.
Cool, crisp, clean, Old Spice. It puts the wind in your sails.
Damn it, Don, we're getting in awful deep.
Trespass is compelling with fast-paced action.
You come any closer, he's a dead man!
It's all about survival.
It's all about gold.
Trespass, rated R, starts Friday at theaters everywhere.
We've got to play those old guys and the women. This is going to be no contest.
Can you believe those guys?
Don't miss the Wendy's 3-Tour Challenge. Coverage begins Saturday on ABC Sports.
At the 2-minute warning on 4th down and 5, Lin Elliott comes out to attempt a 46-yard field goal. Burline to hold.
This is Jimmy Johnson not wanting to break the rhythm of what he would do in any ballgame.
And that one hits the upright. So Elliott misses, and Atlanta takes over. And we have 1:53 remaining, and the Cowboys are that much time away from the NFC East title.
Braun introduces Flex Control, the first electric shaver with a pivoting head. Flex Control automatically adjusts to every contour of your face. Under the chin, under the lip, that tricky spot under your nose. You'll get the closest Braun shave yet. Flex Control from Braun, the last word in shavers.
Do your holiday shopping with the Discover card, and you'll not only give, you'll receive a cashback bonus for every charge. It pays to Discover.
Do you know what your business would actually save on a call from New York to LA using MCI instead of AT&T? Here's your big savings. Leaving AT&T doesn't make a lot of sense.
Thank you. To all of you attracted by Buick's reputation for quality, but who think a new Buick is beyond your means, may I make the following suggestion? Go see the new Buick Skylark Custom. It is every bit a quality Buick. And as the most affordable Buick for 1993, it makes Buick quality more attractive than ever.
ABC's Monday Night Football being brought to you by Tots Blanc de Noir, the wonderful new taste for the holidays. By Radio Shack, your Christmas electronics store. By Buick and your local Buick dealer. Remember Buick, the new symbol for quality in America. And by Braun, makers of Flex Control, the world's first electronic shaver with a pivoting head. 1:53 to go. Billy Joe Tolliver comes into the game. Wade Wilson is done for the night. And, of course, Atlanta has been done for the night for some time. They're down 41-17. And Tolliver throws, and that's the first catch of the night made by one James Milling up at the 32-yard line. He's tackled there by Mickey Pruitt. Jerry Jones, owner of the Cowboys, down there getting and receiving congratulations from Charles Haley and Thomas Everett.
He built it, and they have come. Victories.
The two JJs, Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson. Tolliver throws, and as we said at the top, it's been those two guys and no jablonis. There's been no personnel director and no general manager. These guys should get all of the blame or most of the credit. It's as simple as that. It's been Jones and Johnson. And right now they're getting all of the credit, and they deserve it.
Well, in '89, when they looked over their football team and said, we want to change it, they said they looked around and said, what kind of an asset did we have? And they both agreed it was Herschel Walker. Nothing against Herschel. They just got a bundle for him, and they went from there. 43 trades later, 29 on Plan B players coming in.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Is it your insinuation, Al, that a lot of other teams have Jabloni.
Well, I just feel like I feel like Groucho Marx. I mean, that was kind of like the word that comes down with the duck tonight, right?
The $200 word.
We just created one. At the 47-yard line, Tony Jones was the guy who made that last catch, and Tony Jones is shaken up. So Dallas wins the NFC East, and we can update the playoff picture to the moment and simplify it. San Francisco home field advantage throughout. That said, Dallas week off, then they host a game the second weekend of January at home. Minnesota plays in that first round the weekend after New Year's, and they will host a game. New Orleans and Philadelphia have a chance to host games. New Orleans, simply by beating the Jets, will do it. And that's a likely scenario. Philadelphia still with a chance. Green Bay and Washington each with a chance to get in. Washington has the better chance, though if both win and Philadelphia loses, then Green Bay gets in. And Washington plays the Raiders on Saturday, and Green Bay plays on Sunday against Minnesota.
But of those bottom two, one is in, one is out.
One is in, one is out.
Same here.
Same here. You've got Buffalo, you've got Miami. Pittsburgh has clinched the division title. Nobody has been guaranteed a week off at this point. San Diego's in and Houston is in, so a lot still going on. And of course, Kansas City plays Denver this week at Arrowhead Stadium. Winner in, loser out.
Could you repeat the NFC again?
Well, the AFC is simple with that Kansas City-Denver game.
Tolliver taken down by Jim Jeffcoat.
The spike by Jim Jeffcoat.
And Tolliver, who already has a slightly separated shoulder, they used that as a reason why Wilson even got the start last week. Slow and arising. Michael Irvin.
Mike will have a word with you, but he is a football player.
Yeah.
He brings it every time.
Emmitt.
He is the franchise.
Second and 20.
Whoa.
And that's a catch by Drew Hill.
What's that for a little quick penetration there? Who was that came flying up in there? Was that Jimmy Jones?
Leon Lett, I think, again.
You know, we have Jimmy Johnson, the coach. We have Jerry Jones, the owner, and we have Jimmy Jones, the player.
Yep.
This is a confusing configuration of talent.
You can call me Ray. You can call me Jay.
And we can call this the last play of the game.
Maybe. That's incomplete, and the clock has gone down to zeros all the way around.
What a job they've done in Dallas.
NFC East is theirs for the first time since '85. Johnson and Jones. Well, we go to San Francisco next week. Joe Montana in action. We'll talk to you then. Detroit against the Niners. Here it's 41-17 Cowboys. Till next week, Al Michaels, Frank Gifford, Dan Deerdorf. Good night from Atlanta.
Celebrate your Christmas Day with a college football doubleheader. First, the nation's top seniors display their talents at the Kelly Tire Blue-Gray All-Star Classic. Then it's off to the tropical paradise of Honolulu, Hawaii, as Kansas battles BYU in the Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl, here on ABC Sports. Now, except on the West Coast, stay tuned for your local news and ABC News Nightline over most of these ABC stations. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.
A promotional fee has been paid to ABC by United Airlines. Come fly the friendly skies.
Happy holidays from ABC.
Good evening, I'm Terry Phil.
And I'm Claudia Weatherman. Just ahead on Newswatch 6, a new health and welfare chief ready to take on budget challenges.
Call it Health Couture, new wearable monitors on Health Watch.
And meet one of BSU's biggest fans. She's also one of the littlest. Next on Newswatch 6.
You know how Jack in the Box makes the ultimate cheeseburger? The ultimate cheeseburger? Well, instead of adding pickles, they add cheese. Instead of adding lettuce, they add another kind of cheese. And to top it all off, they add another kind of cheese. It all adds up.
It sure does, because now get the best of Jack in the Box at our best price ever. This week, the ultimate cheeseburger is only $1.99.
I have nothing to add.
When healthcare insurers hear about what's wrong with the system, it's great to talk about the positive things we do to hold down the cost of healthcare. Like our 15+ refund program that rewards groups for careful use of their benefits. It's a great feeling to deliver a refund check to an employer.
As an employer, the greatest reward is an increased awareness of how we use our benefits. Careful use helps reduce the cost of health care, and that helps everyone.
We'll put some nice in your life at Michael's Furniture Showplace.
It's the first time ever Action Lane Recliners and Simmons Beauty Rest have teamed up for a sit-and-sleep sale, and Michael's guarantees delivery before Christmas. Super savings on Simmons mattresses. Queen sets from $199. Action Lane Recliners from $268. Special no-interest term and guaranteed pre-Christmas delivery at Michael's Furniture Showplace.
Michael's Furniture Showplace.
You're watching KIVI Channel 6. And now, Terry Thill, Claudia Weatherman, Chris Houston with weather, Steve Buzalaki with sports, the news team that's working for you. This is Newswatch 6, the 10 o'clock report.
Thanks for joining us tonight. A cabinet that reflects a very diverse America. That's what Bill Clinton says he's aiming for.
He's taking some heat, though, from some women's groups that are complaining there are too few women being appointed. But just today, a woman was one of his key choices in the new administration. Dick Radner reports on the new energy and education secretaries.
Bill Clinton filled 2 more cabinet posts, one with a longtime friend, the other with some. He named Secretary of Education was one of the first New South governors to make educational reform a priority. He has been Clinton's longtime friend and mentor.
Dick Riley is great at working with all kinds of people. He gets people who normally don't talk to each other to work together to do things that are for the public good.
Minnesota Attorney Hazel O'Leary has experience as a former government official and utility company executive.
Of all the people I considered for this position, I thought she had the best mix of experience, working in the energy department, working in the private sector.
Vic Ratner, ABC News, Little Rock.
Some other news around the nation and the world at this hour. Why did so many people survive today's crash of a Dutch jumbo jet in Portugal? Portuguese officials say at least 55 people died when the Martin Air charter jet with 340 people on board slammed into a runway while trying to land in a storm at Faro, a popular beach resort. The pilot, who survived, credits nearby firefighting equipment and the fact that so many people were able to scramble out of doors and holes in the broken fuselage of the DC-10. 2 of the main fighting warlords in the Somalian capital of Mogadishu have agreed to take their guns and get out of town. Scores of heavy weapons mounted on vehicles have been leaving Mogadishu. It's been hailed as the first major step toward ridding the capital of guns and to make it safer for U.S. troops. Back home tonight, the Food and Drug Administration has approved a new sleeping pill. It's called Zolpidem Tartrate, and the manufacturer, J.D. Searle & Company, says it will help people fall asleep quickly, and it does not disturb your deep sleep. The sleeping pill will be marketed under the name Ambien.
Back at home, Governor Andrus has appointed someone new to take over the state's largest department. The governor's hoping Jerry Harris will do the same for health and welfare that he did for the Idaho State School and Hospital. Dave Meany reports that could mean cuts.
48-year-old Harris says he wants to make some changes to the department to contain costs for the customer. And he admits this could mean getting rid of some positions in health and welfare.
It very well could mean that. I will need some time to take a look at that particular issue, and I will be moving forward on that.
Harris takes over at a tough time. The state is facing a $55 million shortfall in its Medicaid program, which covers medical care for low income. But Harris may be the solution. In the late 19